Hi, guys. I'll wait a few minutes to see if anybody's up. Hi. Um, did you get my message? Did you get my message? Ali B, did you get my message? Hey, from Brooklyn, New York. I know it's cold and snowing. Okay, guys, I wanted to come on really quickly. I'm sorry, it's cold. I hope y'all can hear me. I have a minute. I want to come on real quick, and somebody had asked me a question. Mississippi in the house. My daddy from Mississippi. Um, Somebody had asked me a question about how much hair should you lose when you detangle your hair. That is all Detroit in the building. That's all relative to the person, because genetics play a part, how much you take care of your hair plays a part. So where one person can lose a very minimal amount of shedding when they detangle their hair, somebody else may lose a handful of hair. And a lot of that has to do with, again, how well you take care of your hair when it's up, if your hair is dry, if your hair is brittle, how much hair you have on your head. Normally, people with very thick hair, they tend to, when they detangle, they tend to lose more hair in their detangling process. And also, genetically, like, everybody's hair, okay, let me put it this way, everybody has a hair cycle. Every hair in your head has a life cycle. And if at that time that hair's life cycle is due to come out, then it's going to come out. So sometimes of the year you may notice that your hair sheds a lot more than others, because that hair's life cycle is time to uproot from the follicle and come out. So your hair's life cycle can range from 2 years to 7 years. That's why everybody will not grow tailbone length hair. It has something to do with genetics as well as how you take care of your hair. So if genetically your family history has, your parents or your grandparents have, their hair has a life cycle of 7 years, those are the people who normally grow tailbone length hair. So they may not shed as much. Their hair may not come out as much. And I hope that makes sense. So when you are detangling your hair, keep in mind, don't look at somebody else's hair and say, oh my God, I lose a lot more hair than them. Because genetically they may not lose as much hair. Their hair may be finer, it may be thinner, so not as much may come out. Their hair may be moisturized, they may not have low porosity hair, their hair may not be coily. Normally coily hair people, they may lose more hair in the detangling process because their hair is so coily, so it breaks easier. So the short answer is everybody's different. Everybody's hair is different. So everybody will not have the same amount of hair loss when they detangle their hair. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So don't look at other people. Look at your hair. Judge your hair. When you look at your hair, does your hair look thin? Do you have short spots? Do you have, is it uneven? When you hold it out, does it taper off naturally or does it look choppy? Look at all of those things when you're detangling your hair. So that way you'll know, okay, either I'm losing too much hair, I'm not detangling properly, or this is just how my hair is. This is like, I know even when I detangle my hair, sometimes a lot of hair may come out, but I know my hair and I know, okay, this is how much I usually lose when I detangle if my hair is up 6 weeks. So if your hair is up 3 months, you are not going to lose the same amount of hair that somebody that had their hair up for 2 months would. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So if you keep your hair up 2 months, 3 months at a time, you're going to lose a lot more hair compared to the person who does their hair every 2 weeks. or every 3 weeks or even once a month. You're going to lose a lot more hair because your hair has been packed together that long. So those strands that are going to come out of the follicles, that those strands that are going to come out from your hair, they've already loosed into your hair. So you're taking them out all at one time rather than over the span of 2 or 3 months. So I hope that answered the question of the person who asked me how much hair should come out in the detangling process. Everybody is different. Even with my children, my daughter who has thicker, whose hair is very thick, she loses more hair in her detangling process than my daughter's hair who has a medium density. And my son, whose hair is really, really thick and his hair is low porosity and is dry, he loses more hair in his detangling process than my other daughter's hair, whose hair is more fine, whose hair is more medium dense. So that's the extended answer. Now, if you have a sensitive spot in your head, and it's funny you should say that because after I had my first child, right here in the crown of my head, that became my stress point. That became where my hair would break very easily. And the one thing you have to do is you have to nourish that spot. So don't put a lot of tension on that spot, especially if you're tender headed up in the crown. Don't put a lot of tension on that spot in your hair. So do, if you wear protective styles that does not put a lot of Cali in the building, that doesn't put a lot of tension on your hair. And I hope that that kind of makes sense to you. So you can give me more information if you want to. But if, like, for my hair, I had to let my hair grow out and do protective styles that didn't put a lot of tension on this part of my hair. Like, for a while I couldn't wear weaves up here because I couldn't have that sewn in tension on my hair because that became my stress point, my pressure point. So I had to keep that part of my hair moisturized. And also, even that part of my hair, when I had my son, which is my firstborn, I used to wear relaxers. I came from the world of relaxers, and that part of my hair changed. It wouldn't even relax. So that was one of the reasons why I went natural as well, because that part of my hair right here in the crown, right at the top of my head, it would not relax. It became my stress point. So if I was stressed, if I had a lot going on, that's where my hair would break the most. That's where my hair would break the fastest. Like, some people have a stress point in the back. You cannot pull your hair back in ponytails in the back of your head a lot if that is where your stress point is. You have to treat that hair very gently. And if you suffer from dry hair, or if your hair is very coily, if it coils very tightly, or if you have low porosity hair, you have to keep that part of your hair moisturized. Like, you have to really focus and be tender and gentle with that part of your hair. Whereas you may usually wear your hair in a ponytail in a crown, you couldn't do that. You wouldn't be able to do that because that hair is so fragile. It's more fragile than the rest of your hair on your head. It will continue to break. It will continue to fall out. Yes, you can check our website at tmhairproducts.com. Is where we sell a detangler and we sell a moisturizer styling aid. And the detangler, it's also a deep conditioner as well as a co-wash. And what it does during the detangling process, it moisturizes the hair while you're detangling the hair. So when you rinse your hair is very soft. It feels like your hair has been deep conditioned without it being deep conditioned, because the detangler, what it does is, because it has mint in it, it stimulates blood flow to the follicles. It opens all that up. It helps to open up your pores like mint does. So it helps to nourish the hair. So even in your detangling process, you're nourishing the hair. So after you detangle, you shampoo, you reapply it as a deep conditioner. So you've already moisturized your hair in one phase. Now you've moisturized your hair in a second phase. So that adds more moisture to your hair. It makes your hair more pliable, easier to manage. So it takes a lot of the frustration and hard work out of doing the hair. But it helps. And the styling aid, and I'm not, I don't know if you're familiar with the backstory of how our products came to be, but My daughter struggled with her hair. My daughter, when she went through puberty, her hair literally it would fall out. It just kept breaking and breaking. She was going through puberty. Her hair just went through this transition, and I had to do something to get her hair back on track. Now her hair is long, it's healthy, it flourishes, and a lot of people ask me, and I get a lot of emails and questions about is that all I do? That's all I use. Those two products, and I shampoo their hair when I want to shampoo it, or I'll co-wash their hair when I co-wash it because their hair is so dry. So over shampooing their hair dried it out more. So even though I was moisturizing the hair, but if I'm moisturizing the hair and I'm shampooing the hair every week, for me and for my daughters, it was like a never ending cycle. It just the hair it wouldn't keep the moisture. So I had to come up with something to keep their hair moisturized. So moisture is a big thing for me. Detangling was a big thing for me, and also deep conditioning. If you're familiar with this channel, if you're familiar with my videos, deep conditioning will become your best friend. Well, the detangler is a deep conditioner. It's a fantastic deep conditioner. If you wear your hair silk pressed, if you wear your hair flat iron, you deep condition with that. Even if you go back and look at my videos on silk pressing and flat ironing, or videos of my hair when it's down, silk press, flat iron, that's all I use. I don't use any oils, any serums, that's all I use on my hair. I just deep condition with the Smooth Through Detangler, which is a detangler. So it's formulated as a 3-in-1. It's great for wigs and everything, but it's formulated as a 3-in-1. So all I do is deep condition my hair with the detangler. My hair is silky, my hair is shiny. I don't have to add any different serums and oils because I personally don't like my hair weighed down. I don't like it heavy. I don't like a lot of product on my hair. So that works for me. That works. It just simplifies the process, and that's what I was trying to do. When I started making these products, I didn't even make them to sell. I made them to help my daughters. I didn't make it. They weren't. It wasn't a line that I decided to come out and say, "Oh, I just want a hair product line." And if you are familiar with my videos, I make products that help my daughter's hair. So I am going to come out with the shampoo. I don't know when. I hate the part of bottle design and all that stuff. I hate dealing with that stuff. So that has been pushing back the release of the shampoo. But with our products, any moisturizing shampoo will work. Because when I was making the products, again, when I was making the products for my daughter, I was making the products to help to solve a problem that she was having with her hair. I didn't make it to come out with a hairline. So I was using whatever shampoos I had available, which were moisturizing shampoos because she dealt with a lot of dryness. So any moisturizing shampoo you have, it will work with the products. If you suffer from dry hair, if your hair is breaking, you may need a protein rich shampoo, but when you deal with protein, you gotta be careful with that. So it any moisturizing shampoo will work for your hair, and I guarantee you, if you follow the steps that I show you guys in the videos and using the products, you will see a dramatic difference and turnaround in your hair. I've had so many customers who has emailed me and told me. I've seen so many children who didn't have edges, or hair is just really damaged severely in the back, and parents email me and I tell them what to do. They follow the steps, and they keep me up to date. They keep me up to date. Right, and it may very well be great, but I've heard that Shea Moisture has a lot of protein um in their moisturizing shampoos and conditioners. I'm not sure. I don't know, but I've heard people that used it. It had a lot of protein, so it made their hair very hard or dry. Is one of the things that I heard. So I don't know. I'm sure it is very well. It's very popular, so I'm sure it does work very good. But just from the feedback that I've gotten from people, um, that's what I've heard. But for me, I simplify the process. I could have made, if I were interested in really coming out with a line, all of the products that I have, I could have broken them up into individual products. I could have broken them up into individual products. So I could have had a conditioner, I could have had a detangler, I could have had. Okay, so that works well for you. Okay. Um for low porosity hair, I personally have low porosity hair. I personally have low porosity hair, so me moisturizing and deep conditioning works well for my hair. If you have low porosity hair, deep conditioning is your best friend. Deep conditioning lifts the cuticles of the hair, the heat from deep conditioning. Now let me back up and explain. A lot of people think deep conditioning is leaving the product on your hair for overnight or an extended amount of time. That is not deep conditioning. As I said before in a recent or in another video, it's just like your hair is like a sponge. It is only going to absorb so much. So leaving conditioner on your hair overnight, 2 days, is not doing anything, because your hair is only going to absorb what it needs, and that's it. So it's just sitting on your hair, then, which can be counterproductive because your hair can turn to mush. But for low porosity hair, deep conditioning is when you sit under a hooded dryer or some type of something with heat that will lift your cuticles, because when you have low porosity hair, your cuticles are very tight, so they don't lift. So it's hard for product to get under the cuticle to strengthen your hair, to moisturize your hair, to nourish your hair. So deep conditioning will become your best friend. Even when I use our Perfect Assist styling aid on my kids' hair, because their hair is low porosity and because their hair is very dry, I'll style their hair. Like if I do a natural style, let's say 2-strand twist, for instance, I'll style their hair and I will put them under the hooded dryer with the styling aid on their hair. So it's like giving their hair a hot oil treatment that doesn't rinse out, and it just melts into the hair like butter. A lot of you guys ask me, what do I use for their scalp? Do I grease their scalp? No, because when I put them under the dryer and when I style their hair and I put them under the hooded dryer with the Perfect Assist styling aid on their hair, it literally melts into the hair. It covers the scalp. It doesn't clog the pores. So it does a lot in that small step. That one step covers a lot. If you have low porosity hair, I want you to try that for a month. I want you to detangle. I want you to deep condition with the smooth through detangler. And when you style your hair, it doesn't matter if you put crochet braids in. When you use the Perfect Assist styling aid, sit under the hooded dryer. I've had clients who have contacted me who's had braids in their hair already, and I told them, take a little bit of the styling aid, rub it down your braid, and sit under the hooded dryer. When they took their hair down, it was easier to detangle. They lost less hair because their hair was not dry. It wasn't brittle. It wasn't breaking. You're going to have shedding. You're going to have shedding. There's no way to get around it. But the unnecessary breaking, when you take your hair down and it feel like dry leaves because it's been up so long and it's so dry, you won't have that. So for low porosity hair, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Try it, and I have customers who interact with me all the time. They email me all the time to get updates, to give me updates on their hair and how their hair is responding. So I'm very invested in this. So with this product, I'm very invested because this was something that I created for my girls. This is something that I know for a fact works because I've seen it work over and over and over again, not just for my 4 daughters, but for other people as well. I've seen it work even for my own hair. Like I said, when I had kids, my hair changed, especially in the crown of my head. It changed. It was dry, it would break. So me doing this and me telling you guys these steps, it works if you follow the system. And I simplified the system. I made it simple. Simply detangle, shampoo, condition, style. That's it. You don't have to do much. You don't have to do a lot of manipulation. And the styling aid also is a great moisturizer. So not only can you moisturize your hair, it can also be used as a leave-in conditioner that you don't rinse out. You don't use the styling aid if you're going to silk press and flat iron your hair. Do not use the styling aid for that because it contains water. So if you flat iron your hair and you put the styling aid in your hair is going to revert back because it contains water. It's a moisturizer, and moisturizers contain water. It's not a sealant, it's a moisturizer. So a sealant is something like shea butter that you just use to seal in the water in your hair. That's a sealant. But the styling aid is a moisturizer. So not only does it contain water to moisturize your hair, it helps to trap it in. And when you put yourself under the dryer, it just meshes all of that together. All of that just melts together. So that's how the system works. That's and it's simple. It a lot of people didn't believe me until they bought the products and they started using it, how simple it made caring for your hair is. Now, if you're a person who you style your hair a lot, that's something different. But if you wanted to simplify and grow your hair, that's the easy way of doing it, because you lose less hair in the process of detangling, because the detangler is very rich, is very creamy, and it gives the hair that slip. I've had customers, as a matter of fact, a lady just left a review on our website, um, just saying how when she used the detangler, how the tangles just literally start to melt. You could feel them breaking down. And sometimes you hear me say that in my videos, like when I add the smooth through detangler to my kids' hair and I work it in, and you guys see me doing this with my hand, because I'm feeling for the knots and tangles. I'm feeling the tangles loosen up and to come out of their hair. So everything I show you there is a method to my madness, believe it or not. So it works. If you have any questions, I'm always available via email. It's easier to email us at our customer service at tmhairproducts.com, and somebody can get back to you there than leaving comments, questions about the products on a video, because you get so many comments on a video. It's like, you have to work your way down to the comment, or I get the comment so much, and I'll just make a video about it. So, and that's what prompted this video, because I kept getting questions, and somebody asked me how much hair should they lose in the detangling process. I got that question so much, so I just had a minute to make a video. But like I said, I am very invested in this. If you have questions regarding the products, how to use the products. Now, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any disrespect, but if you're not a potential customer, if you're not buying the products, don't email me about how to grow your hair when you don't use our products. And I'm sorry I had to say that, but I have people that email me on, how do I do this for my hair? How do I do that for my hair? This is a business. Although I love what I do and I love helping you guys and I love giving you guys advice and information and tips, I don't have time to invest in you and you not invest back into our products. And that's what any business person would do. And I hope you guys understand that. And I say that with the utmost respect, because at the end of the day, this is a business. This is what I do. So if you have questions about the product, if you've purchased the product, people who purchase my products know that we are invested. If you have questions, if you're having troubles with your hair, if you're having, problems, I have people with color treated hair, all kind of stuff. When you're dealing with hair, you deal with all kind of stuff. And I'm invested with them because I want them to see the potential in their hair. That, to me, that can take your self-esteem from 0 to 100. So I'm fully invested in that. So if you guys have any other questions regarding the product, how to use the product, all of that stuff, email us at customer service at tmhairproducts.com. So if you have questions on deep conditioning and how long you should deep conditioning and how often, and things like that, it's easier. You'll get a response faster from someone if you email us at customer service. I don't know what that is. What is Orbi? Now, as a business person, a lot of times people ask me, am I going to put my product in stores? I'm not sure at this point, but to be honest, direct to consumer is cheaper, because if you put them in stores, the stores have to get a percentage, so you have to raise the price. You have to have your overhead. You have to have all of that, dealing with the stores. So direct to consumer is less expensive on the customer. And I hope that makes sense, because if I put my products in Target, although they're more accessible to people, the price is higher because you have to pay Target. So that's something that we have to think about, and but for as of right now, direct to consumer is more cost effective. It keeps the cost down. Um, and we ship quickly. We ship within 24 to 48 hours, and sometimes if we get orders in before the cutoff time for the post office, we'll ship same day. So we ship very fast, between 24 to 48 hours, unless it's something wrong with your address. People put the wrong address in, so we have to contact them to get that corrected. But we that's what we do. We ship really quickly. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, yeah, so if you're interested, give us a try. Give it, you won't be disappointed. Give us a try. And if you, like I said, if you have trouble, you email us at our customer service. Someone will get back to you. Someone will help you um, as much as they can. And you also have to follow instructions. I have people who contact me and say, how do I do this? How do I do that? We give them instructions and they go do something completely different. They go do something completely opposite of what you told them to do. So if it's suggested to you to deep condition, try deep conditioning. If you don't deep condition, try deep conditioning and then come back and tell me what you think about it. Especially if you have low porosity hair. If you have 4C hair, that makes your hair more manageable as well. So if you don't deep condition, try deep conditioning with TM hair products, smooth through detangler. Try deep conditioning with it and then come back and let me know the outcome. Give it about a good 4 weeks. If you do your hair once a week, give it about a good 4 weeks of deep conditioning and you will notice a difference in your hair. Your hair will be more manageable. It will be easier to maintain. It will be easier to comb. It will be less frizzy. You will see a difference in your hair. I've done it so many times and I'm confident enough to know, not arrogantly because that's not my personality, but I'm confident enough in these products to know how they work, how they perform if you follow the system. I have people who they've been following the products, they've been using my products for like a year and have a completely different head of hair because their hair was unmanageable before. They have a completely different head of hair, not the grade. I'm not saying, oh, they went from kinky to very wavy to very curly, but the manageability of their hair was, it became more manageable. It became less stressful to do their hair. Like I said, you guys see in my videos, I have 4 daughters. You guys cannot have a problem that I have not dealt with, that I don't currently deal with, that I have not faced. I have 4 daughters with all different hair issues. I have daughter that's tender headed. I have a daughter with thick hair. I have a daughter with coily hair. I have a daughter who hate getting their hair combed. I deal with it all. So there's nothing pretty much you can throw at me that I have not experienced in myself or my girls. There's nothing that you can contact me about. I'm being honest. There's nothing that I haven't dealt with. And I use that term loosely, like I don't want anybody to go to the extreme, but I've dealt with hair falling out. I've dealt with severe breakage. I've dealt with hair changing, the way your hair performs. I've dealt with the hair changing. Like I said, when my daughter hit puberty, her hair just changed. It just completely went off the map. It just completely flipped the script. So I've dealt with all of those things and have gotten their hair back on track, have recovered. My daughter, y'all know, cut a big bald spot in the back of her head. I've showed you guys updates on that, how her hair has grown back in. My son, I took him on a journey, a natural hair journey, because I wanted to show you guys somebody who had no hair, this much hair or lower, to now have hair shoulder length almost going into bra strap. My son's hair, his hair is past his shoulders now, head full, thick, shiny, head full of hair. So I wanted to show you guys, take you on a journey for you to see from A to Z. And you guys can go look at his playlist, look at his hair, see where he started, see where he is currently. I give you guys updates on his hair. His hair is always healthy. His hair is always shiny. He retains length because of the way I detangle his hair. That means I don't have to trim his hairs often. So he gets to keep a lot of the length that I would have had to cut off had I not kept his hair moisturized, had I not deep conditioned his hair. So it's all a system. Everything works together. Everything I show you guys works together, even from misting the hair with water before you detangle it. That helps to make the hair more pliable. So your hair is not so stiff. So when you comb through it, you're not just ripping the hair out. Everything I show you guys in the videos, everything works together. If you follow the steps and follow the system, that's why I show you guys all the time, because I want you guys to get familiar with how I do it. Now, once you get the hang of it, you can tweak it to your liking. You can tweak it to what you cater to what you want to do. But to get the steps down packed, once you get the steps down packed, the rest is yours. You can do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to let you guys go, and thank you. Unless anybody have any other questions, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. I didn't expect to be on as long. I was expecting to just answer the question, but it's always a pleasure. I always enjoy chatting with you guys. I always enjoy going live. I wish I could do it more. I'm going to try to do it more because I like to interact with you guys in the moment, because when I get questions and emails, I can answer those, but in the moment you guys get to, we get to talk, well, like talking in the moment, for me to answer you guys' questions. So again, I enjoy talking to you guys. I'm going to try to go live more. If you guys like the lives, if you guys like the live communication, live question and answering, thumbs up these videos, share the videos, share whatever videos that made you subscribe to our channel. Share that video on your social media platform. I would greatly appreciate it. As you know, it helps TM Hair Products to grow. It helps me to get positive information out to people, and it helps me as a business to cater to my community. It helps me as a person of color to help cater to people of color who have the same hair problems that I have, who have daughters that look like my daughters, who have people that look like me. It helps to get TM Hair Products out there. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.